I'm interested in several teams. Are they going to be better or worse than they were last year? We did this little project the other night. At least we started it. I want to continue tonight. Let's talk about Florida. Florida was 7-5 last year. Florida's over-under win total is 7.5 this year. Are they going to be better or worse than they were last year? I've got Florida as better this year. I know a lot of this is about their schedule. Trust me, I know that. I think they played the toughest schedule in the country this year. That team lacked an identity at the beginning of the year last year. They found one as the year went on. I don't think they come into this season searching for that. DJ Lagway is already somewhat of a star. I think he could blossom as a household name nationwide this year. But also, I think that because he doesn't have to do it all by himself. I can trust their offensive line. I can trust that they can run the ball. I think the versatility of personnel they have defensively is really potentially high-level intriguing. But also, I mean, that's a team with 20 underclassmen that played 200-plus snaps last year. And like I said, they got tests. I mean, we don't have to relitigate their schedule. I just think they're a really good team, man. So I'm going to go above 7.5 wins, or 7-5 season last year. So I'm going to go 8 wins or better for them this year. I think Florida will be better. Arizona State's a little different story. So not that I'm down on Arizona State, but Arizona State was 10-2 in the regular season last year. This is just regular season that we're talking about. Their win total is 8.5 right now. I'm gonna cop out a little bit on Arizona State. I'm gonna say same. I think of them as kind of a 10-win caliber team. That's very lofty, by the way, given the volatility of the Big 12. There's a lot to love about Arizona State. But if you tried to ask yourself, okay, how could it go wrong? The defense was good last year, not elite. Cam Scadaboo's gone at tailback. And also the intangible part is you never know what the follow-up is. We've seen teams burst onto the scene dozens of times in this sport's history. And so then what happens? Well, naturally you expect a follow-up effort that's equal to or better than, especially when you return a lot of your players and the entire coaching staff's back, which is not to be overlooked. That's great. That looks good on paper. This game's not played on paper. And they go to Baylor, they go to Utah, they go to Iowa State. That Texas Tech game at home could be one of the games of the year. TCU is a really tough out. Sandwiched between Baylor and Utah. There's, I think, a bye week in there. Hey, quick timeout. Check and see if you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not, make sure you do. It's free. It doesn't obligate you or sign you up for anything. It just helps us keep the channel free. All right, back to the show. I'm saying same, and I think that gets them in the playoff again. It gets them right there in the Big 12 championship again. What about Michigan? Michigan's a weird team because everyone remembers how they ended the year last year. So Michigan went 7-5. But the last two things you saw them do was beat Ohio State and beat Alabama. Okay, so that's like an Evel Knievel ramp jump into the next year. But that's also not how this sport works. Momentum year to year is not a real thing. It's talked about a lot, but it's not a real thing. Their over-under win total is 9.5. So Michigan is a team that I think is in sort of a year before the year kind of mentality for me. That the vibe is this is like the year before the year. I still think they'll be better than 7-5, though. So if I had to go better or worse, I'd go better on Michigan. They feel 1 year away, but they play Ohio State at home. They don't play Oregon. They don't play Penn State, at least in the regular season. The whole question about Bryce Underwood, is he going to be their starter at quarterback? Well, if he's not, I mean, Mikey Keene's played a whole lot of football. So it's not that they certainly can't be any worse at quarterback than they were last year. Let me put it that way. I mean, they were abysmal at quarterback last year. They were in the 130s in passing numbers last year. So, look, I think they may go under their win total and still be better than they were last year. And lastly, team I talked about a little while ago, Georgia Tech. I'm going glass half full on like everybody tonight. I got Georgia Tech is better than they were last year. They were 7-5 in the regular season. So close to beating Georgia. They beat Miami. They had a couple of losses, I think, against Notre Dame and Virginia Tech where Haynes King didn't play. He was hurt. But I think they're an ACC championship dark horse, and I trust the identity of the team. I love the way their schedule sets up. They get their two best opponents in Atlanta. Clemson, they play at home. Georgia, they play in Mercedes-Benz Stadium because that's where Georgia plays every road game now. Outside of that, they could be favored in every game. Like, I'm very, very confident. I've already bet this. I bet it a long time ago. So I got Georgia Tech is better than 7-5. Their over-under win total is 7.5. So we're basically betting the total there, over or under.